Chapter 5, Mishnah 1. The Mishnah now begins to discuss the laws of the Pesach offering. It starts by describing the procedure for slaughtering the offering on the afternoon of Erev Pesach. Every day, two communal offerings, known as Tamid offerings, were brought in the temple, one in the morning and one in the afternoon. Many other offerings were brought throughout the day, and, as a rule, they all had to be brought between the two Tamid offerings. No offering could be brought before the morning Tamid, and no offering could be brought after the afternoon Tamid. An exception to this was the Pesach offering, which was brought on Erev Pesach after the afternoon Tamid. Because of this, the afternoon Tamid had to be offered earlier than usual, to allow time for the Pesach offerings. This Mishnah teaches when the Tamid was brought every day and when it was brought on Erev Pesach. We now turn to the words of the Mishnah. The afternoon Tamid was slaughtered on ordinary days at 8.5 hours after sunrise and brought, i.e. burnt on the altar, at 9.5 hours on Erev Pesach. When more time was needed in order to bring the Pesach offering after the Tamid was slaughtered at 7.5 hours and brought on the altar at 8.5 hours. The Tamid was brought at these times both on weekdays and on Shabbos. Although less time was needed on Shabbos because no private offerings were brought, the weekday schedule was kept to avoid confusion. After the Pesach was offered in the temple, its meat was brought to the place in Jerusalem where it would be eaten, and it was roasted. When Erev Pesach fell on Erev Shabbos, it had to be roasted before Shabbos. To allow time to roast it before nightfall, it was slaughtered earlier than usual. When Erev Pesach fell on Friday, the Tamid was slaughtered at 6.5 hours and brought on the altar at 7.5 hours. And in all cases, the Pesach was brought after the Tamid.